What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope everybody can hear us out there in the ether, but we got old Caz Anderson on here. How's it going, buddy?
What's going on, folks? Excited to be back on Fish North Georgia. I've got y'all propped up with two different suitcases stacked on top of each other right now, and so
Dude,
my angle's a little wonky, but we're doing good.
it's better than most. And most anglers, man, it's tough.
Yeah,
Nobody
at
owns a
least I
tripod
have the
out there.
lighting in my favor.
Yeah, you actually look nice and caramel over there. You look like you've been getting a little bit of sun, but
I
taking care of
definitely have.
yourself.
Yeah, trying to.
I hear
Trying.
you. Well,
Yeah.
what you been up to, man? A lot of things going on. Obviously, we're gonna get into that and kind of just catch up. Uh-oh. Kind of lost him for a second. Maybe he got a text message or something came through. Might have to come on back in or something. Let's see. Bear with me, guys. Try to get him back in. Let's see. Sorry about that. Come on. Where are we at? Sorry, boys. I'm normally not on the old driver's seat on this thing, so let's see if we can take old Caswell. Turn him off now. Remove guest. Let's see if he'll come back here, guys. How are y'all doing in the comments? Let's at least check in with you guys. Sorry, we having a little bit of technical difficulties. I think he got a phone call or something or a text message. And then hopefully he'll pop back here in a second. But how's everybody doing out there in the comments? I see we got Coleman in the chat. Diaz, what's up, dude? All right, hang on. There's Kaz. Let's try to add him back in.
All right.
You're back.
We should be dialed.
Good.
I don't know what happened. We went dark.
All good. You're light now, so that's all that matters.
All
But
right, we're
yeah,
good.
man. So what's been going on other
Dude,
than suitcase tripods?
yeah, so it's been a big last, well, year, I guess. I don't know the last time I got on Fish North Georgia, but it's been a minute. But anyways, we have made some changes in life. Fishing some big tournaments, major league fishing. There goes my suitcase. Um,
Oh no.
all right, so yeah, we've been fishing the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit this year. Been doing some other Toyota Series tournaments. Been guiding a lot. And fellas, we just popped the question. We just got engaged
Big
last
time.
week. Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you. Appreciate it. It was a big blessing. Kennedy, Miss Snacklebox has it's been a big
Nice.
uh, I mean, I don't know. I used to not believe the whole when you know type stuff, but I'll preach that to everybody till the day I die. So it's been amazing. I can't even put it into words, and excited to get hitched. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
been good though.
exciting, man.
Yeah, it's a. I just kind of woke up one day and was like, you know what, I want to do this. Like I have no reason I shouldn't, for sure. So
Nice. Good for
yeah,
you,
man,
man. That's exciting.
it is
Big
exciting.
things happening. You
Yeah,
catching
that's
big bass and you got the biggest catch of your life on the reel,
big
you know?
catch. Yeah, she wasn't too hard to reel in neither.
Yeah. Nice. I like
Hopefully,
it.
she's not on here yet.
Yeah. No, you
Yeah,
did good, man. You did good. We're excited for you. So,
thank you.
how's fishing been? So, right now, fill us in, and then we'll get to where you've been. But where are you at right now? And
Yes.
what are you working on?
Yeah, right now I'm down here at Lake Murray for the BFL All American. So there's a few guys that are local from Georgia that are down here fishing this deal right now. Um, hope I'm one of them. So hopefully it goes in our favor this week. This is a pond that we've spent some time on, and we qualified for this deal. Almost won the wild card tournament last year on Pickwick in the fall. Almost just like 11 ounces. Lost to Lucas Murphy. He's in the tournament. He's a local hammer here, so he'll be one to beat for sure. But it's been a decent practice so far, finding a lot of fish, but they're tough to get the bite. The Elite Series boys kicked them in the teeth pretty good there a few
Yeah,
weeks ago.
I'd say so.
Yeah, they're pretty smart right now. They've seen a lot of flukes, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be one of them deals. So any of you guys in the comments, I guess try not to comment anything about Lake Murray. I can't read any comments right now, so it's good. So I guess just
Yeah.
let whatever your heart desires fly. But I can't
Yeah.
get any info.
I won't pull them up if any of them
Yeah,
are, so we ain't
but
get me in trouble.
it's gonna be good though this week. Hopefully, there's some huge fish in this lake. If any of y'all ever have
Yeah.
fished down here, if you haven't fished down here, I would come. It's got giants everywhere. Like some of the most. There's more 5-pounders in here than anywhere I've ever seen.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. So tournament
Five of
starts.
those a day would be awesome.
Yeah. So tournament starts Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Thursday, yeah. Tomorrow we get to practice till noon. So I put in
Okay.
two good long days of it the last 2 days, finding as much stuff as I can, pre-practiced a little bit. I mean, I put in the as much time as I.
This kid, he's got people either hitting him up, calling him, something or other. We're gonna have to kick him out again. Remove. Sorry, ladies and germs. We're trying. We're trying. We're trying. All right. Nope. Still having issues. Sorry about that, guys. We're trying to work through this. There we go.
Dude,
There we go.
I've
Put
got
on that old
every
D&D.
time.
Everybody calling you?
Yes. Can I put it on Do Not Disturb?
Yeah.
Hang on just a second. Let me put it. Where's that dang moon at? Do not disturb. There we go. All right, we're dialed.
Nice.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
I've got phone calls the last 2 minutes, and they've been ringing me off the hook. But
No worries.
anyways, yeah. So Lake Murray's pretty sweet, pretty cool lake for sure. Hopefully, and we get one more day. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. They made this tournament 3 hours, or the 3 hour rule for live scope. So you
Really?
definitely kind of got to change it up a little bit, in your approach. This is a format that I've fished all year, so it's a little bit different ball game, and you got to prepare for it and try to stay getting bit all day, whether you have scope or whether you don't have scope. You have to keep yourself around fish, but on these herring lakes, it's really tough to be around the winning fish if you don't have live scope. So you might be getting bit, but they're going to be small, and you're just kind of buying time. So I don't
Yeah.
know. We might be going old school and triangulating and marker buoys. I don't know. I'm pulling all the tricks out of the hat.
Marker buoys. Make sure
Yeah.
make sure you read the rules again. Just
Yeah,
in case.
yeah. Oh, they're still legal.
Oh yeah. I like it. That'd be hilarious.
Just toss one out the back.
Oh, son. You dot it up. Or you could throw out decoy marker buoys, and then everybody's like, "Oh, there's got to be something there. Let me cast at it."
Yeah, exactly.
But knowing them herring fish, they'll be up there like mahi.
Yeah, I know, right under that marker buoy. That'd be pretty nice there. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, that's exciting. So it's a 5 fish. You got 3 hours of scope. Thursday, Friday, or like full field.
Thursday and Friday are the full field. There's only 47 boats, so there's not many.
Oh crap!
And then the top 10 fish the last day on Saturday.
So there is 3 days still.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's 3 days. Yeah, the final day is got third last year. Would really like to make a comeback at it this year, try to win.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man, be a dream come true. A lot of guys around our area have won the All-American.
Yeah,
and a few of them have been really close several times. Emil, Paul, Buddy Benson fished the All-American for the past I don't know how many years, and he's finishing the top 10 every single time. So
yeah,
I got big shoes to fill for sure.
that's all right. So you'll step right up to the plate, and maybe this will be your time. Like
You never know.
That's what's helped accelerate a lot of these guys' careers too. When you look at Emil and Paul really gave them some money and some wind in their sails to tackle the EQs and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to see what could happen. So I'm excited for you. And whether you come in 47th or first, we're still going to be behind you.
It's all good either way, right? We're just chilling and rolling along. But
Oh yeah,
it it's it's just another tournament. But man, it's gonna be fun. I'm just glad to have a tournament on a lake that I'm real comfortable on. But
yeah,
whenever you have a lake that you're comfortable on and you have a big tournament, you start overthinking things a lot. So I'm trying to keep myself, chill out.
yeah.
Don't be going all crazy, throwing a bunch of stupid stuff. Just keep the train on the tracks.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep, that's
You'll be
right.
all right.
Runners, no doubt.
All right, we're gonna run through some of these comments. We got them all flowing in like the rain.
Nice.
Coleman Jones said, "Just got done watching a YouTube video. You follow Caz? That was a grinder."
A grinder for sure. Day one was not a grind. Day two was terrible. So sorry you had to watch that, Coleman, on day two. I tried to leave the despairing details out because it was just almost too excruciating for me to edit. But um, day two was rough. Really thought that I was around the fish to do good after day one, but some tournaments are just that way. But thanks for watching. Hopefully this video is a lot more entertaining.
Oh yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Old Doc Holiday in the chat. What's up,
Yeah.
Cletus and Kaz?
As always, Don.
I like it.
He's a good one.
Oh yeah, we got Diaz in there. A bunch of congrats for you. Sorry we're catching up on all these comments. Question from Coleman: How did you and Kennedy meet?
Oh, this is Dr. Phil, or is this Fish North Georgia?
Hey, we're talking about
Well,
all the catches. So
I know.
all the catches.
So a good friend of mine, Jackson Pace is his name. He actually set me and Kennedy up. So his wife is Kennedy's best friend. So it worked out pretty good. Last year I was driving to Norfolk Lake in Arkansas, and he's like, like you ought to give Paige's friend Kennedy a ring and take her out on a date. Well, we did, and the rest is history.
Here you are.
Yep.
This comment said, "Did you catch her on a koiki?"
Full cast. Yep.
I like it. I like it.
Yep.
So Coleman asked,
Popped
"What?"
it twice.
He popped it twice. Drop her down on a knee, and you're good to
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
What are the scope rules for the All American? So it's 3 hours.
3 hours. Yep. 3 hours of our choice. So we get to
all
do
3 days.
all 3 days. Yep. So uh it's undecided at this point when I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna kind of get a vibe and see if I can figure out when everybody else might be using theirs. Usually everybody spills some beans at blast off. They're like, oh, I'm gonna do this or that or this or that. And I'm gonna probably do the exact opposite. So
I
I'm
like it.
gonna kind of be taking a census that morning of what I hearsay or something like that, and then we're just gonna do the opposite and try to be on top of it. The scope and no scope is very reverse psychology, and then you
For
usually
sure.
have to reverse it again. So,
Yep. So is that the same rules in practice as well, or how does that work?
It's free for all in practice, so that can throw you for a loop sometimes because you're obviously scoping the whole time in practice.
Yeah.
But I use my scope to find fish that I think I can catch without it. So if you know they're there, you've got the confidence that they're there, and if they're shallow enough and you know they're in a pretty broad range, or if you know how the structure lays out that you're planning on fishing, that can help you out a whole lot and be more efficient in your no scope period.
Gotcha. I like it. What do you say when you pull up? Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. Here's the rest of it. There we go.
Yeah. I don't know. I just tell them Pops is here or something. I guess there's an inside joke to this, and
Nice.
yeah,
We'll keep that.
he's putting me on. He's putting some pressure on me here.
Nice.
He's still fishing. That's right.
Yeah.
What up,
What's
Mason?
your
That guy, he watches a bunch of my stuff. Thanks, Mason, for watching and messaging and stuff all the time. That's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite herring lake lure?
As far as what I throw the most, it's probably some variation of a soft jerk bait, whether it's a Berkeley jerk shad or a Zoom fluke, and mix it up with a few different colors. if I had to pick one bait for the rest of my life to catch fish on, it's definitely going to be a big pencil popper. They eat that thing like nothing else and
Oh
smoke
yeah.
it. So if I had to pick one, if they were biting anything and I could only throw, and had to pick one, that's what I would pick. But you know, can't have your cake and eat it too.
That's fair. That's a good one to have though.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, Diaz said, saw you catching them on an urchin style bait near you follow video. Any tips?
Urchin style bait.
The lurchin with searching with the
Y-
urchin son.
Yeah. Um, to be honest, I am definitely not the man with amoeba or a koiki or none of that stuff. I do throw it some. I've played with a bunch of different ways to rig the bait. I'm gonna make a YouTube video of how I do it soon. Kind of let some cats out of the bag now that the whole technique is kind of out there. Um, Definitely have caught some big ones using it. They're so hard to get. Now Berkeley just came out with theirs, the Amoeba, and I've been throwing that one for a long time. And for lakes like that, we fish Lanier, Chateau, things like that. That bait's awesome for spotted bass. It's got max scent, and the only reason I say it's awesome for spotted bass is we like to sink them down a little bit sometimes. And that bait, you don't have to put any nail weights in it. It has a perfect sink rate, just about like that, right out of the package. Where the other ones, you have to modify them a little bit or they'll float. So it's good for super shallow water. Just kind of depends on what you're wanting to get out of the bait. But um, typically I work it like a jerk bait, pop, pop, stop, pop, 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 stop. Just kind of watch the fish, watch their reaction, and it's become one of my favorite no scope baits as well. I'll throw that thing around docks, lay downs, go down the bank and sight fish with it. It's been one of my favorite little tools this year as far as just going down the bank and playing around. It doesn't have to be a scope bait.
For sure. And why do you think it's blowing up so big? Like, I feel like it's been out, like me and you talked about it over a year ago, of like that's how these guys are catching them all summer long.
Yeah.
And now it just seems like it first started to blow up at Martin, and then like it just kept on exploding. Peg South winning a couple on it, and just
Yeah, I
some
mean,
big ones.
I just think it's got the hype, people are throwing it and catching big fish on it, and I just think it's something that the fish have never seen. They definitely, you don't throw one in the water and fish just starts coming to it and checking it out and biting it. That's a fact. I mean, it's tough to get one to eat on it, but I think a lot of guys, um, truthfully, the bass fishing can kind of go this way. If we would have won a bunch of tournaments that had matted grass, and people were catching them on a frog and stuff, it would have been the year of trying to get as many frogs as you can. It just all
Yeah,
depends on whatever tournaments you have that put certain people in the limelight, that are really good at catching fish on a certain technique, and it just happens to compile all into one.
for
Um,
sure.
but it's definitely a new technique that people are smashing them on all over the country, and fish definitely like it. I throw it, I keep it honest, but it's not nothing that I'm overly knowledgeable about like I'd like to be.
I hear you. Do you do any type of like bait keeper to keep that thing on there? Because I know the max scent one's a little softer. So
It's a
is there
little
any?
softer, so I'll rig it through the nail weight hole most of the time for the best results, to not sling it off all the time. Now you're not going to sling it off if you're going to make a cast if you have it skin hooked, but for longevity, it definitely helps if you go through. And what I mean by going through is I'll take like a longer shank treble hook and shove it through the nail weight hole. A big frog hook, stuff like that works really good as well. And just
Nice.
shove it through and have the line tie coming out one side and your hook prongs coming out the other. And then if you want to get real fancy, I'll push the bait up near the line tie of the hook that you have shoved through it, and I'll shove a big bobber stopper or some spinnerbait keeper on the points of the hook. I'll shove it up there, up the trunk of the hook or the shaft of the hook, and it'll pin the koiki or the amoeba up next to the line tie. That way it doesn't
Nice.
slide down and get in the way of your hooks.
That's pretty slick. Are you weighting these things a good bit, or keeping them pretty
No, I
light?
keep them as light as I can get them, honestly. I think you definitely get more bites. When I snap it, I want it to sit perfectly still after I snap it, like pop, and then it just sits there, and they need
Kind of
to
like
run
tuning
up
a
on.
jerk bait.
Yeah, it can't be sinking too much, or and if it floats, it's fine if you're fishing super super shallow water. But I think honestly, the fish key in when you pulse it, all those tentacles move, and it just moves a lot of water, and they feel it from so far away.
For sure. What kind of rod and reel you throwing that on?
I use for the big ones, for the huge Meba and the full cast, I throw a 7.3 medium heavy Fenwick world class. It's just, a good length to twitch it, keeps it real concise. It's not overly long, but I can cast the lighter bait, good ways. And it's bigger, so I can set the hook really hard. And I use 8-to-1 reel with usually 15 to 20 pound line, depending on the stuff that I'm around. For the lighter stuff, for the little 17 millimeter guys, spinning rod, medium action with 12 to 16 pound leader.
I like it. What are you rolling, a treble hook or a single hook for most of them?
I play with it all the time. Really don't even have a defined answer. At Eufaula, I was using a quad hook, but those are harder to get than the urchins right now. And I've loved that quad hook. It definitely has a phenomenal hookup ratio.
Nice.
But I've played around with a frog hook as well, and the Talisman Brutal is another really good one. Well, and the Talisman Brutal is another really good one. I've
Yeah.
played I've
Yeah.
played with a bunch of them, and the quad is the deal if you can get your hands on it. With a bunch of them, and the quad is the deal if you can get your hands on it.
For sure. For sure. Doc said would love to see the Anderson boys battle out for the win on Saturday.
That would be awesome. Me and Brooks have been chatting it up a little bit in practice, and
Nice.
he's definitely going to be hard to handle.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of boys representing in this derb. It should be cool. Who else have you talked to this week that's fishing it that
Will
fish fell towards you?
Bates. Will Bates. He works for Johnson Outdoors. He's around the house. He's a super good dude. Aspen Martin, another local hammer. Jack Story is going to be really tough to beat. Um, that's the guys that are just the locals from around us.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys that are from down here, and then there's people from all over the country. But Jack
Nice.
and Aspen and Will and Brooks and myself, we love the herring fishing stuff. So I would not be surprised to um see a few of them names in the top 10 this weekend. Hopefully we can be one of them.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Tony said, wishing you the best. Great young man. I appreciate all you've done for him.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
Tony. Appreciate y'all.
That's awesome. Are you streaming the All American?
Dude, I wish I could. They've got streaming rules against us in the major
Really?
tournaments. We can't stream. Yeah, we can't stream at all. I'm wanting to kind of figure out a way around that. Not really going to let many cats out of the bag on that right now, but I'm wanting to. I think I've found. I don't want to say a loophole, but I think I've found a way that I can do it because I want to get some live content to y'all. I think that's the next step in my YouTube social media game is streaming and letting y'all be able to watch me fish. Comment on this right now. If I was to go out on Chatoog or a local lake, set a camera up in the back and just go live on a random Tuesday, y'all could go with me and fun fish. How many of y'all would like to watch that kind of content? Because I could take y'all with me. Heck, I get bored, I'll talk to the camera. So
I want to go.
nice. Yeah, me and Clint can go.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it'll literally be like y'all are in the boat with me. You can ask questions. I'll respond to the comments as I'm able to, and we'll just go fishing. So,
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. You should do it.
yeah, for sure. I think it would be a good thing.
From the fish school.
That's pretty cool. I
This is
definitely puke quite whenever I catch it, but hopefully there's some hurling going on this week.
dude, I hope you're hurling while they're swirling on your
Yeah,
lid,
I hope
son. Like,
I'm just shriveled up coming
yeah.
back to the ramp. I ain't got nothing left.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know, you need to go on Caz Anderson fishing and watch him catch a couple 7, 8, 9 pounders and just dry heave his poor little guts out.
Since
He's just
I've
so fired
been
up.
tiny, like literally since I've loved fishing since I was 6 to 8 years old. I remember catching my first big bass and just like screaming, and something about when I scream or when I get super worked up, I'm just like, and then dude, I've always done it. Literally been over the side of the boat since I was a little kid.
That's
Oh, it's only
insane.
like big largemouth. It never is spots, never smallmouth. It's only big largemouth with that huge bucket head on them when they jump out of the water and they're just wallering everywhere. Oh,
Yeah.
there's nothing about just a clutch giant in a tournament, and it'll just make you start. It makes me puke. I get so pumped.
That's awesome. That's just loving the sport, dude. That's just loving what you do. Like
Oh,
we
dude.
get caught up in like, oh man, we only had 18 pounds, or we only had 20 pounds, and all this other stuff. But dude, like we get to go bass fishing, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
we love it. Like being able to look back at it and be like, whether you catch 10 pounds or you catch 25, like you're still out there catching bass. It's pretty cool.
Luckily, there's ways to make a living doing what you love that don't involve having to catch bass all the time. If it wasn't
Yep.
for that, it'd be too stressful. But man, I go out there and I enjoy it, have a lot of fun, catch them. Good Lord willing, that's just the mentality that you gotta have, and you just gotta grit your teeth and be like, man, I just hope that we can catch them. And it burns when you don't, but man, when you do, there is not a better feeling. I've caught myself multiple times this year, almost in tears, driving back home after a tournament. Not, I ain't won nothing, but dude, like, just after Wheeler Lake, I'll never forget this. I was driving through the Ocoee Gorge. Some of y'all know where that is. I'm coming through Chattanooga, passing Parksville Lake, right before you get to Murphy, North Carolina. So I'm
No
almost
phone
home.
service over there either.
No phone service. I'm driving through there, good song on the radio. Got me a little check in the passenger seat, good moved up in the points race, one step closer to making my lifelong dream come true. And dude, I had the window rolled down just screaming. I was pumped up. Like just a feeling of being so alive and just blessed to do what you love. And it's indescribable. And dude, when you got all that stuff running through your brain, and you catch a 9 pounder, it'll make you throw up. It does me, anyways.
It will. It
Yeah.
will. That's awesome, dude. But like, so you've had a really strong season so far. It's been a good year. You're catching them. You got some momentum on your side. Like, what's so? Tell me, walk me through your season. Like some highs, some lows. How's it been going?
Yeah.
And
Dude,
tell everybody that doesn't know what you're fishing and
yeah. So
what you
I'm
got left.
fishing the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. Decided to fish that this year. Fished dual threat at the beginning of the year. We're not even going to dive down that rabbit hole, but um, fished a few of those tournaments. So stuck with MLF this year. Love those people. Love the tournament organizations, the payouts. Everything is awesome. It's just where I like to fish. And dude, I've enjoyed that pro circuit so much. First stop of the year was on the Harris chain. Absolute grind of a tournament. Ended up catching an 8 pounder last minute on day one. One of my pukes of the year. Caught
Yeah.
it on a chatterbait right beside the boat ramp. Gave us 17 pounds, and we were in fifth. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I bet I caught 8 pounds worth of bass total in practice for that tournament. It was terrible. Just grinding. And then day two, I had 8 pounds, and I was in eighth place going into the last day. So I fell from fifth to eighth with only catching 2 days for 25 pounds in Florida in the pre spawn. Tough tournament
That's
and
tough.
tough tournament. And then the last day I zeroed and then fell down to 30th. So tough tournament, salvaged a check. We're in 31st place in the points. It's not bad. Not a bad start. I would take it. If you told me I would have got 31st, I would have took it and stayed at home. Um, Second tournament of the year, Santee Cooper. That one went a little bit better. I think I finished 26th or 27th. Um,
You had
First
three
day,
fish for an ungodly amount of weight.
yeah, the first day, there's just big fish everywhere in there. And then we had a shortened first day, so we only got to fish for a few hours. My 3 hour scope period was up. I had 3 for 23 something. Of
It's
dumb,
ridiculous.
dumb bag. Had a 7, an 8, and a 9 1. And just a big bag. And then, dude, day 2 had like 14 something pounds with 4, just never got any big bites. Finished up there with well, they canceled one of the days, so it was only a 2-day tournament. So there ended up with another 20 something place, another check, moved up in the points to 18th. Wheeler Lake rolls around, solid tournament. Not very good last day. Was in 12th going into the last day, and then just have a bad last day, man, and fall down in the 20s. That moved us up to 11th. So once again, trying to piece multiple good days together has been my nemesis this year. I've had good days at every tournament I've fished, and then I've had at least one good day. But if I can ever piece together 3, I mean, geez, you're always that close. Douglas didn't go my way. Had a great day 2, moved up a bunch, but day 1, just the weights were so tight and you couldn't really stumble at all. I had 9 pounds the first day, and that bit me and moved me down to like 20th in the points. So definitely saw the goal fade a little bit right there, but there's always, other years, and you can still climb with 2 top tens. You never know what might happen. The BPT is still the goal. So, got 2 more tournaments for the year. Eufaula, Oklahoma, which is next week. I'll leave straight from here at Murray and head there. And that ought to be just a slugfest. No, I'm just kidding. It'll probably be terrible. And then we got Lake Champlain in the last of July. So I'm super excited about
Nice.
that.
That will be a slugfest.
Yes, indeed, it will. And then we've been
Is
fishing
that
some
before? Or
Toyota
yeah,
series too.
that's way before the elites get there, right? Because the elites
I,
aren't there till like third week in August, I think.
yeah, we'll set the preview for that one.
I
Hope.
like
And
it.
um, we have fished a few Toyota series too. Kentucky Lake was my first one. Didn't do so good in that one, and then fished Seminole. Wound up with a top 10 there. Should have won that tournament, man. Just lost fish plagued me there. I lost 2 big ones on day 2 that cost me big time. One on a big giant top water in the grass, blew up on it, got me dug down in it. You almost can't even make a real long cast there because the grass is so thick. And
Yeah.
then another one during my scope period, flicked my minnow over there. A giant blob came up, ate it. It was like an 8 pounder. Set the hook and bent my hook out. And I was like, "You have got to be kidding me!" I wanted to say some terrible things there, but it bent my hook, and that cost me a lot of weight, but ended up with a good tournament. Eufaula wound up not doing so good. First day was awesome. Second day, mega bag, a little 3 pound sack. So
Hey.
that's my season in a nutshell so far. So
Well, it
we've got
sounds
some highs and lows, but we've cashed a bunch of checks. So
yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Hey, that's keeping the boat afloat, son.
Keeping the
Especially in
boat
this
afloat.
economy, you got to be cashing checks.
Gosh, yeah, you ain't
If you
lying.
ain't cashing checks, you're breaking necks, son.
Yeah, I know. I'll be rowing the Phoenix down the lake
Yeah, son.
if I hadn't
You'll be
cashed no
using that
check.
empty snackle box to paddle
Yeah,
your way
I'd need an
around.
oar. I'd need a donation for some oars for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah. A
Um,
few of the lakes though, I mean, they need to blow up the dam and plant corn for all I care. Douglas is
I
one of
agree.
them.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
yeah.
You got a bunch of guys in the comments. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to catch up here, but I'd pay to watch it live. I'd watch it for sure. John said, "Me, count me in. I'd watch. I'd watch." I mean, I think you should do it. There's enough
Nah.
evidence here of like, do it. Andy Anderson, congrats on engagement. Good luck on the Lake Murray at All American this week. Appreciate you getting a hook out of Brooks' hand yesterday. Lots of blood.
Yeah,
You
I
there's
forgot
got to
about
be a
that.
story there.
Yeah, so it's coming a torrential downpour. I'm getting a call. It's Brooks. I answer the phone. I'm like, "What's up?" He said, "Yo." I'm like, "What's up? What's going on?" He said, "I got a hook in my hand. You know the braid trick?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've done it before." He shares his location with me, and I ride up the lake, find Brooks, and there he is. He's got him a little Gamakatsu G finesse buried up right there in his thumb, and
Mm.
we had to pull the top water off of it, and then sat down, and I could tell he was a little nervous. And if he's looked back on my Instagram far enough, there's a video of me jerking a hook out of a guy's hand, and I didn't get it the first time. And I've been unsuccessful on the first jerk 3 times. I've
Me
only
too.
got it.
I'm
I've
one
only
for one on that.
Yeah, I've only got it on the first jerk like 2 or 3 times. I've honestly been in the position of pulling hooks out of people's hands more than I would like. But that one with the Brooks yesterday, I bent down and got some 50-pound braid and wrapped it around and it come out slick as a whistle. It didn't even
Nice.
hurt. Yeah, it was very smooth. I felt
Well,
professional after
maybe
that.
he broke the precedent, set the trend. He helped him get a hook out of his hand, so hopefully
Yeah,
both y'all are gonna do good.
maybe he'll float me a tip or two for this week.
Hey, you never know. You never know. It's but like good karma on the water is always something good to have, you know. And
Yeah.
and we've all been there getting hooked in the hand. It sucks. It's
Mm,
not fun.
yeah.
I had one that I was able to. I had a little 6-inch spotted bass a couple weeks ago on a jerk bait, and he just like I would go to like grab the line. I'm like way up the line, and he just and it's like in the crease of my hand, like right here. And I was able to like I had the fish flop and was able to just pull it out, even though it was like through. I mean, you could still kind of see it right in
Mm,
there. But like I was able to pull it out, luckily. And I mean, you know how jerkbait hooks are like, but it's
yeah.
always the little spotted bass that'll do that to you.
Yeah. Knock on some wood here. I've never had a hook in me at all.
That's
Like,
pretty. That's pretty impressive.
never once have I been hooked. I've had them go in and then get ripped out
Yeah.
by the fish. I had one in my nipple last year, and oh, dude, it was brutal.
How'd that happen? He spit
I
the
had
hook
it
back up at you?
pinned up against my shirt with
Oh,
the huge Berkeley Craig that has 3 hooks, and I had it, and you get them behind the gills, and they're like, when they got their mouth open, you've got them like that. I had
yeah.
him like paralyzed, and dude, he flopped, and that thing hung me right in my boob.
So you didn't have him paralyzed
No,
then
I thought
either.
I did, but I had him like behind the head, and he had his mouth open. But like I had him good, I thought, but he flopped and stuck me.
So how'd you get it out?
It tore out
Oh
when he was
God.
sitting there thrashing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was brutal. Got me right in my milker.
You're a mess.
Dude, he got me.
I love it. I love it. All right, back to the comments. He's my favorite fisherman to watch on YouTube. He's always genuine and willing to help anyone. Dude, since you started that YouTube channel, since me and you talked on the phone about like, hey man, I think I'm gonna do this to where you're at now, what's the YouTube journey been like?
Dude, it changed my life. That's awesome. Thanks, Clarence. Dude, I don't know. If it hadn't been for my YouTube channel, I definitely couldn't have fished full time. It's opened up a ton of doors and just made a lot of good relationships, and the response has been overwhelming. Now, I don't have a million subs or nothing like that, but it's growing and just trying to do the best I can, and the response that I'm getting from everybody is awesome. And I never figured it would take off the way that it has. There's been a lot of other YouTube channels started in the past year, and I think mine's showing pretty good growth, and people seem to like to watch. So I'm honored, and it's been a big blessing. Without it, I don't know what I'd probably be delivering auto parts right now for sure.
I hear you. Well, like, and that's the cool part too, is like you don't need 100,000 subscribers to make an impact. Like
Hmm.
I would rather see like coming from a social media background in business and everything, I would rather see somebody with 10,000 loyal followers that are commenting and you have a higher engagement rate, real people and all this stuff than somebody with 100,000 followers that has all these bot comments and fake accounts and all this stuff in the
Yeah,
comments. And it's not as genuine, or you're posting clickbait videos. Like, your videos are real, they're genuine, you're helping people learn, you're entertaining people for sure with puking or getting hooked in the milkers. Whatever you're doing, you're making people laugh, you're making them have a good time, and you're reminding them that fishing is fun, no matter
yeah,
whether you catch them or not. You're bringing them along for the ride, and they're having fun watching you. And so,
Yeah.
like, that's super important. And I'm glad you started to bring them along for the ride because I definitely wanted the world to see what it's like riding along in the boat with you, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that need to be out there doing that.
Funny
Are you still
stuff
able
tends
to
to
get?
like follow me around
Oh yeah,
sometimes, and it just happens every now and again. And I just kind of speak my mind, and it
yeah,
it comes out funny sometimes. But it's been great, and I definitely want to keep it genuine and keep it small and just keep it real and all the
yeah.
things that everybody says that they love about it because it's a pretty low maintenance operation. I've still yet to invest in a good laptop to edit my stuff on. I'm still doing it on my iPhone. I'm keeping it pretty low key. So we're just rolling with it, man, and seeing where
Yeah.
it takes us.
Keep doing what you're doing. A good laptop will ease the workflow a lot. I
Yeah,
promise.
for
It'll
sure.
be a little bit of a learning curve. You don't need a camera guy. Keep doing it yourself. Like you got
Yeah.
guys on the elites like Cooper Gallant still doing his own thing, and it's a
Yeah,
grind.
that's
It's a
it.
lot.
That's
It's a lot of,
insanely impressive.
but it kind of gives you that mental clarity, right? At the same time, going back through like, why did I make that cast where I made that cast? Why did I wait to set the hook? Or dang, that fish bit 5 seconds ago and it took me that long to set the hook. Like you get to learn a lot too by rewatching your old videos.
Yeah, absolutely. I love watching. I used to think when I was little it was the coolest thing to watch myself fish. And sorry, I was pulling an old man trick right there. It slid down on my screen. But I used to think it was the coolest thing. I would like set my phone up in my boat and video making a cast back like dude, like I was like 15 or 16 years old out there fishing around on Chattooga and I'd fake a hook set or something. Think it was the sickest thing ever. And
Yeah.
now just going back and watching all that stuff and reliving the cool moments and everything, I think like, dude, had I been doing this for like the last 5 years, it would have been stupid. The
Oh
amount of
yeah.
and if I'd have had the knowledge to know what people liked and this and that and how to, make a video because I've always talked and like I always had that aspect. But if I would have had the know how and just the motivation to go and do it, and to be honest with you, Kennedy is the main motive that I've had, since like I've met her last summer and since then, like a lot of things have had to happen, for me to, I knew I wanted to marry this girl and I'm like, I've got to find a way to make a living doing this stuff, and make it work. So I went and tried to bust my tail and make everything work and go to businesses with an indisputable case, as to why they should partner with me. And, it definitely, is a lot of work and it's a lot of getting off the water from a tournament day or practice day and editing videos until 1 o'clock in the morning, getting a few hours of sleep before takeoff. But I wouldn't trade it for anything, and it's the juice is definitely worth the squeeze. I'll tell you that.
That's awesome, man. And that's what it's all about, man. I'm excited to hear that. And like, this is just the beginning, dude. You're in the golden years. Like, who knows? Like, hopefully you come back on Fish North Georgia here in like 10 years, and it's another crazy
I,
story.
I hope so.
You
I
never
hope so.
know. Let's get into some comments too. We've kind of been
We've
slapping on the comment
rambling,
section.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you rather fish overcast weather or blue sky weather?
Overcast every day.
Oh
Fish
yeah.
get stupid in clouds.
The All American title is the one David Fritz never won. That could be you. You
Never
could
been
have
a
something.
crankbait in All American, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. The braid trick is the jam. You just got to be sure to yank the ever living heck out of it. I told my boy, don't miss. That's my
Yeah.
problem. Is I like flaked out. I was pulling one up. I'm sure you've seen the video pulling one out of Ian's head or
hmm
attempting to, and Trent had to save us. That was rough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I'm
gotta
not the guy
definitely
you
be
want.
confident that whenever you go to jerk that thing, it's coming out of their hand. You gotta be
Exactly.
sure about that.
Exactly. How about your best fluke tip?
Oh, this is some game here. Um, keep the fluke as close to the surface as you possibly can. The further down in the water column it is, the less chance you have of them biting it. You want that thing to be waking or splashing on the surface if you can help it. Once the fish has actually engaged the bait, if you have forward facing sonar, when they start coming up on it, bring it to the surface as quick as you can. Make sure it's skipping or up on the top of the water, and that'll ensure that the fish is going to bite it most of the time. If it's down there in the water, it seems like you can see too good, and it'll get right up on it, then stop and go back down. But if you bring it all the way to the surface, make it start skipping, oh gosh, they come unglued on that thing.
I like
Most
it.
of the time. They don't on Lake Murray, but they usually do on Chattooga and Lanier.
I like it. I like it. Um, let's see. It's always real. People love it when it's like that. Keep up the great content. Caz, what made you swap back to Garmin for scope?
Yeah, my active target was not the deal. I had it, and I do think some tournaments. I still have my active target. I have it in scout mode right now on the front of my boat, so I didn't completely get rid of it. But for Ford, for seeing fish on the bottom, Garmin is night and day. You can see the floaters good too. I could 1000% see my bait better and fish better at distances on my active target, and I think at certain tournaments, like if the fish were floating or something on the TVA and I was catching suspended fish, I think I had an advantage with my active target because I could hit them so precise at 100 foot, and the Garmin cone angle's wide and everything like that. Now there's the argument that if you can cast, you can cast, but I could address the fact that I'd made a good cast or a bad cast way quicker, and I felt like I could see my bait and hit them at further distances. Active target's really good for floating fish and things like that, but as far as when it goes to looking into a bank, like if you got like a bluff or a 45 or something like that, it's really tough to see. Garmin is the deal for scoping, structure related bottom fish, which is definitely the trend nowadays.
And props for trying it. Like we all looked at you like, why? Why are you
Yeah,
doing that? Why are you leaving the Garmin? But you went and tried it. You put it on your boat. Instead of like guys that have only run Garmin, I'm one of them. Like I've
yeah,
only ran the Garmin stuff, and I'm like, why would you change if it ain't broke? Don't fix it. But you took a chance and tried it. So I mean,
yeah.
then you have even more feedback for people to help people make that decision of like, if you're a guy that's only fishing a certain way, then maybe this works. If you want a more general, this is what you
Yeah,
go
because I
with.
mean, you can get into an active target a lot cheaper than you can a live scope, really. So, like, if people are looking for a budget option, this is why it would be good. This is why it would be bad. It's something that people need to know. And
Yeah.
I was a fan of it, man. I've still got it on my boat, and I promise you, I still will use it sometimes. Like for deep fishing, like 45, 50 foot deep in the ditches and things like that, for scoping those deep ones, you can't beat active target. Um, you can just see your stuff so good, so deep, and make perfect casts on them every time.
Nice.
But, you know, for me, when I travel around the country, like if I only fished around home, I think I could have active target and be just fine. But with me traveling around the country, having to scope in shallow water, dirty water, grass, see them on the bottom, they don't always float 20 foot off the bottom in huge schools like they do at home.
Yeah,
Most of these places we're trying to pick out such subtle details, and Garmin definitely does better at that.
for sure. All right, we got Nate Fisher out there. Shout out to Nate. He said, Kaz, I told Clint and attorney in the beginning of the year that I thoroughly enjoy watching your videos. You're truly enjoyable to watch with that camera engagement that you have. And everything you do just works, man. Keep it up, dude.
That's awesome. That is really cool.
Nate's cool, man. He's a good dude, and I think we were at Fontana, I believe, when he told me that. That was pretty cool. And he said, you have to miss the future event this week. Is this going to be a series? Great for all your viewers.
Yeah, I'm
Future.
having to miss that. Unfortunately, um, got invited, was gonna be there, but unfortunately couldn't make the dates work. They
So,
scheduled that
so
whenever
what
everybody
is the
else could.
future event that he's talking about? Oh, is this the big fishing chaos deal on
Yeah,
Connersville?
yeah.
Okay,
I think I'm the mystery angler on there that they have on the roster. So not to
nice.
spill any beans, but I think that's me.
I like it.
Yeah. So I'll be in attendance for the rest of them for sure, but this one was just on top of a pretty important tournament.
Nice. Yeah, this is pretty definitely a pretty important All American tournament.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
Kaz, do you still throw the old Berkeley wake bait that isn't made anymore? Been sub to you for a while.
Heck yeah, dude. I throw that. It's the surge shad. I throw it all the time. I got a wall full of them at my house. It's definitely my favorite wake bait. It throws really good. It's got rattles in it. They can hear it from a long ways, and they make a broken one and a single one. I wish they still made it, but I've definitely got them stocked up at the house. I throw them all the time.
Nice. What's one of the most underrated Berkeley baits that you keep in your boat all the time?
Oh, dude. Um, I'm trying to think. That new flux gill is awesome. I've caught a lot of fish on it, but the gilly is something that I used to catch. Well, I still do for spring fishing and sight fishing. You know, it's a big part of the year. The gilly is the best bait that I've ever used for sight fishing and bed fishing. I've caught a fish over 7 pounds on it every year for as long as I can remember. Makes them so mad. Um, yeah, sometimes people overlook those baits that are just super realistic, and I always do too. But for some reason, the gilly is one that really works.
How do
If
you
I
like
could
to,
think of
if you're going to
that,
flip it out of bedfish tomorrow, how do you
yeah,
like to rig it?
3/8 ounce Berkeley Fusion shaky head with a 3/0
Really?
hook. Yeah, it stands up, and I can hang it on a little rock or a twig in the bed. And when I hang it on there, the line tie on that particular shaky head makes it stand straight up.
Nice.
So I always throw that fusion shaky head. They make them in a few different colors. They make a good green pumpkin one. The paint never chips. The hook's super sharp, and it's not a screw lock. I don't really like screw locks. You just slide the worm up on there and the hook
Nice.
up, and the hook's
It's
really
got a
good.
good keeper on it too.
Yeah, it does. But the reason I like that one is the hook's thicker, so I can throw heavier line in a bait caster and be just fine.
Nice. Do you know if the All American's a WBE qualifier?
No, it's not. Unfortunately, I was registered last year and didn't get in.
Dang. That's great. I can't believe the Classic in Red Crest doesn't qualify. That's
I
nuts.
know. I know. If you fish a series of BFLs and win the points, you get in.
That's wild. Kaz is okay. We all like to give him a hard time here locally in North Georgia, in Western North Carolina. Old Derek.
Derek Cheek. Thanks, Derek, for the kind
Kaz is
words.
great to watch. So much fun. I learned how to fish a jerkbait with forward facing using his videos. Got me a Becky.
There we go.
I like
Nice.
it. I like it. Um, do you think the ATXL or Active Target XL with the 20-degree beam will be more like Garmin? I missed the range out of my Active Target.
Yes, I do think so. I've heard that it's phenomenal. I've talked to both Dustin Connell and Jacob Wheeler both about their XLs. Dustin called me the day he got his. He's like, "Dude, you messed up. You should have got this thing." So who knows? I may get one and try it because he says he can look straight into a bluff and it looks perfect and looks phenomenal. So said it was night
Hmm.
and day different than the AT2. Something to look at if you're into dabbling around and trying. Because if you could combine Garmin's bottom clarity with the distance and the precision of Active Target, it'd be the ultimate forward-facing sonar.
I'm sure it's coming too. I
Oh,
mean,
for
who knows
sure.
what we'll see at ICAST
Probably
coming
with
this year too.
Garmin's next unit, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably coming soon.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Kaz, can you speak to the Berkeley Lab minnows in comparison to other popular ones?
Yeah. So, Lab
Tell me
Series.
what the Lab series is in general
mm,
too. Give us a good overview.
Lab Series is a new deal, so it's max scent. But the thing with Berkeley for the longest time is we limited ourselves on colors that we could make and scent dispersion. So the whole deal with Berkeley is power bait, right? So we have power bait and then we have max scent, which is both just revolutionary stuff to catching bass. Max scent especially just took off by storm. You can hardly find max scent flatworms in the summertime for everybody going up north to catch smallmouth. The scent truly works. But the thing about power bait is it has so much salt in it, it's really hard to make the good translucent colors like what we've always wanted that catch fish. Like you can't just have a white minnow, you can't have a green pumpkin minnow. Sometimes you want a finessey little translucent, juicy looking little color. So what Lab Series is, it's hand poured baits. So you can have those 3 layer colors. You can have solid colors with a little bit of flake. Has core shot. It's basically a different way of pouring the plastic and a different way of dispersing the scent. So the scent is now incorporated into a slime layer on the outside of the bait. When you dump it in the water, the scent comes off, so it lasts all day. Whereas, if you had a max scent bait, I don't know if you've ever fished with one all day, or if you catch a few fish on it or something like that, it starts to fade colors. Green pumpkin will start to get a little lighter, black and blue will almost turn grayish after a while, especially if it's been wet, because all the scent has seeped out of that bait. Lab Series is a slime coat, so the colors never fade, they never change, and it stays on there a lot longer. You can actually see it dripping off whenever it comes out of the water, the slime layer. But we basically are able to make max scent into the bad to the bone colors that everybody likes in the shapes that everybody likes. So we have a finesse worm, which is a really good drop shot profile, little Nico rig worm, flat worm, which is the smallmouth killer, and then we got minnows coming in a bunch of different more sizes soon too. But right now we got a 5 1/4 and a 6 1/4 or 6.5. So the two popular sizes for traveling around in a bunch of good colors. I throw it. The tail's really long. The tail's really soft, so it's more of like certain minnows are more of like a they roll. Or this one it rocks and the tail like flutters and rolls at the same time. Really hard to do illustration with my carpal tunnel hands, but y'all get the point. The whole thing like flows and rolls really
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, it looks like a
It's
like
like
I
the
don't know.
tail, not only does the head roll, but the tail rolls as
The
well,
tail
kind of.
rolls as well. It's not like the baits just like a lot of baits have super sharp rolls, but
Yeah.
honestly, with minnows, I'll shoot y'all straight. Some lakes they like one, some lakes they like other ones, some lakes they like the ones that are really hard to get, and some lakes they like the ones that are you can buy at Walmart. And I'll be honest with you, you just have to figure out the mood of the fish, whether they want that violent roll or they want that real subtle, slow roll. For me, the Lab Series has been a big player this year. I caught all my fish on it at Wheeler Lake because those fish, especially in the pre-spawn, really like that whole body just pop, 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 pop. And on highly pressured TVA fish, they notice every single detail.
For
So
sure.
hopefully that was a good enough explanation. I love the baits. They work really well and they're a proven scent, that everybody loves. So y'all should be able to catch a lot of fish with them in the future.
That's exciting. So if somebody goes and buys a pack of the 5 inch, you said five and a half,
Five and a quarter.
5 1/4. So if I go buy 5 1/4 right now, what jig head are you throwing it on?
I'm gonna put an eighth to a 3/16 ounce jig head. You can use a quarter as well, but for the most time, eighth or 3/16 with the smallest hook that I can use, like a 2/0. I use a really tiny hook, because I don't want the hook to cripple the back half of the bait and make that tail not roll as good. When one eats it, he chokes it. Don't matter. The Japanese guys will be using a microscopic little bitty hook on their huge 7 inch minnows.
Really?
Yeah, but I mix around with a bunch of different jig heads. I use the Nako one a lot and cut the weed guard off of it. I use Kitech Horizon head. I use all kinds of different jig heads.
Nice. I like it. And you're throwing that on 10 pound?
Usually 10 at the very lightest, and that's around home. I usually am using 12 to 15. I use
Gotcha.
15 most of the time, heavy leader,
What's the
and a
most?
shorter leader, like 2 foot max.
I like it. So are you using Trilene or what's your or the
Trilane.
new Gen Clear
I
stuff?
I use Trilane 100% fluorocarbon. That's about all I use. I do
And
use
that's
the
the
Gene Clear.
gold
That's the
box?
golden. Yep, been around a long time. I use a Gene Clear for like my super light line, like 6 and 8 pound leaders and stuff like that. Smallmouth fishing, I'll be using Gene Clear, but dude, that Trilane, you cannot break that stuff.
It's strong. It's strong stuff for sure.
Yeah, like 8 pound line. If you're hung in a brush pile, you're gonna hear the pow like when you break it, like it is
Yeah,
stout.
it is. I know you probably don't fish at night much, but what's your favorite Clearwater nighttime bait? I can't find a jointed surge shad anywhere.
Yeah, they're tough. Clear water nighttime. I've probably caught the most fish just dragging a jig, 3/8 ounce jig with a twin tail trailer on it. That's probably my favorite. I throw a drop shot at night a lot too.
Nice.
Drop shot with a red worm. That's another one. We used to catch a lot of fish on that. I think that hard sinker, they pick up on the noise of it or something, and the worms up off the bottom, so they could. I really don't know what a fish sees or what it feels. I don't catch a lot of fish on a night blade or nothing like that, but it'd probably pick a 3/4 ounce chatterbait and a drop shot if I had to pick two.
Nice. I like it. I like it. Do you overhead rig your lab minnow?
Yeah, I
Over.
do. I hook it right in the forehead. Like it's got the little lip that concaves up and then it flattens out. It's got the Randy Howe flat top on the top of it.
Yeah.
And I hook it right in the forehead, right where it splits right there.
Nice. So that way the nose of the bait
The
almost kind of
no
goes down a little
Yeah,
bit.
it gives it like a little lip and it
Gotcha.
helps it rock really good.
Gotcha. Nice. That's some juice
And
right
two,
there.
another little tip, like if you hook it in the forehead and you catch a fish on it and it tears, you can always hook it in the nose down here in the lip and get another fish out of him.
Good to know. Good to know. How's practice? How would you say how's practice going in general?
If I had to rate it out of 10, I'm gonna say a 6.5.
Okay.
Finding finding a lot of fish, and we're definitely gonna be throwing at some giants, but we just gotta hope that we can get them in the boat.
Have you accidentally hooked any of those giants yet?
I have accidentally hooked a
Nice.
few 5 pounders,
Okay, cool.
but
Just need 5
hopefully,
of those a day and you'll be all right.
exactly. I mean, it's tough, when you're trying to find the spots here.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a process to find these herring fish.
What is what's some advice you'd give to somebody for learning how to practice properly? Like a lot of these local guys around here, they'll show up to a tournament, no practice, and fish on Saturday because that's all the time we've got. And let's say you got a tournament coming up and we actually get to practice. What's some advice you'd give to somebody that's like, okay, I normally don't practice. Like, what's some general rule of thumb that you would do? Because you went from fishing a lot around the house and all that stuff to like showing up at places you've never been before. Like, what's some
Yeah.
advice you could give to somebody with that's got limited time for practice? They got one day of practice. Like, what would you tell them?
Yeah, man, I'm still learning that myself, but I can always look back like after bad tournaments or after even good tournaments, and I can tell like if I practiced good or if I practiced bad. And if I always say, I never say really I have a bad tournament. I'm like I practiced like an idiot and it cost me. I didn't spend my time enough here, or prepare for the weather like I should have. Always look at the forecast of what it's going to do, and you know basically sometimes you're not going to have any weather roll in and you can just practice like it's going to be the tournament day. But if you're anticipating things, um if the water's supposed to rise, expect the shallow bite to get a little better. Basically use all your context clues: dirty water, clear water, wind, rain, time of year, what the fish eat. Analyze all that data of the lake, look it up on the internet before you go, and then based on the seasonal patterns, what should be working. And I try, you know the whole fish your strengths thing is honestly kind of overrated. I think you just have to listen to the fish and tell them what, and let them tell you what they want. And I spend a lot of time, if I can, idling and looking for isolated structure that has like one or two fish on it, and I'll try to hit as many of those high percentage areas. You can catch yourself in dead zones really easily, and if you're only getting a day or two of practice, if you waste 30 minutes going down a bank, that's 30 minutes you could have been somewhere else good or looking for somewhere else that's good. And that's just the way that you got to think. If you just got to be on your P's and Q's. Um, I'll tell you what has helped me out a lot is that deep dive app. I just started using that this year, and I can monitor the lake levels to a T, generation schedules. I can see where stream flows. Like today, I was looking for the shallow bite here on Murray, trying to figure something out for my no scope period. I can see where creek flows run in the heads of all these creeks. So I know which pockets have running water coming into them. We've had a ton of rain, so that's going to be a big deal. And I just pay attention to any clue that anything will give me and just try to build the puzzle. And if you have a bad practice, do not go into the tournament thinking it's going to be bad. Go try something new and completely wing it, you know. So I've some of my best tournaments come on horrible practices.
I hear you. When you find yourself like having you're halfway through the tournament day, you got a couple of keepers in the box, and like let's say in practice you're catching 18 pounds and you've only got 10 in the box and you're halfway through the day. What's going through your mind to like right the ship?
Yeah, man. I'll pretty much if I know the fish are still there, I'll change techniques completely and just really try to give them something that they want. Usually, when the fishing's tough, I try to run a bunch more spots. People think it's the exact opposite, that you want to hunker down and fish for, but you can't beat a dead horse. And they're always biting somewhere. Is my mentality. And if they're not biting, and if it's clear to me that they're not going to bite, and I can tell that the fish don't want nothing to do with my stuff, I'm out of there. So, keep moving is my biggest advice to people. No matter where you're at, if you're not getting bit, move.
I think that's where you see guys from this area in general just being able to cover water more efficiently and move
Mhm.
around, and they don't get stuck flipping the same 500 yards of bank just like, oh, maybe I'll get bit. Like you burn a lot of time doing that type of stuff. Whereas I feel like a lot of guys around here are a lot more willing to pick up that trolling motor and completely change zip codes to really try
Yeah.
to cover water and find
It's
fish.
crazy, patience is what people always talk about with fishing and teaching patience and things like that. But where we're from, where we fish, the most impatient, greedy people are the ones that win. The fish
Yeah,
aren't big. The fish aren't big enough. We need to go somewhere else. Move, 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 move. My co-angler, poor guy, is gonna hate me on Thursday in my scope period because dude, we only got 3 hours, so like I'm gonna be 10 seconds from the pulling the trolling motor up to taking the boat off. You got to be fast,
yeah.
and moving is very key.
So you do have a co-angler for this tournament.
Yeah, we got cows. Yeah, be
That'll be
cool.
sweet.
Last year I had one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Levi Allgeiger was with me the day I caught the 8-4 and had the big bag last year at Hamilton. And he actually worked for Alani and Celsius, the energy
No way.
drinks. Yeah, dude, it was awesome. But he caught some big ones. He was reeling an underspin in the back of the boat and caught some toads that day. So
That's awesome. That was a cool video too.
yeah, that
I
was
remember
cool.
that. That's awesome. That's exciting, man. You got a lot of cool things going on. So after you win this thing, what's next on the list?
Um, Head to Oklahoma, I guess, and try to
Okay.
move up in the Bass Pro Tour points race.
So you got two more left. You follow Oklahoma and Champlain, right?
Yep. Hmm.
And then what? What you got later on in the year? Are you still doing some guiding? Like can
Dude,
anybody
my
on here book
guidance
trips
schedule.
or
Yo, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm fixing to make a post soon. I'm gonna go through my calendar and upload all my days I have for June and all my days I have for July and August. If you guys want to get in on some spotted bass fishing on Chatoog, I can take you to catch smallmouth. We've had a few good smallmouth trips lately on undisclosed body of water. Hit me up, and I do guide trips. That's been busy. I booked a full week last week when I was home, so it's been good response. So if y'all want trips, DM me or hit me up, and we'll get out there and reel them in.
and where can they find all your stuff, all your socials and all that
Yeah.
fun stuff?
Instagram is Caz Anderson Fishing. Facebook is Caz Anderson. If you want, if you want to send me the wave on Messenger, and then YouTube is Caz Anderson Fishing, and then my guide service. If you want to look at my website, check out everything, and research a little bit, it's fishytube.com. You can inquire and send an email through there too.
Awesome. Cool. What are the rules for your co-anglers in this tournament?
They're 3 fish limit, and they're just along for the ride.
Can they get on the front deck or no?
Mm-mm, no, they have to
Okay.
fish from the back deck. Can't make a cast from the front deck. If they have to fight a fish from the front deck, that's fine. Same with me. I can't make a cast from the back deck. And I think that's about it.
Nice.
Common courtesy, and we'll roll. Don't be a
We
butthole to your cows, and that's it.
Bork said, "I
Or
better
see
see
some
some
gagging.
gagging on Murray."
You'll see my chunks coming through the dam right there. Hopefully at about 10:30 on Thursday morning.
I hope so. I hope
That
so.
would be awesome.
Kaz, would you ever consider guiding up north? I know a couple of guys do it on their northern swing. I want to go to St. Lawrence next year.
Dude, I would love to do that. If I could stay up there up north all summer long, I promise you I would. But I don't think that that's in my cards. If I'm up there, it's for a tournament, and I'm going to go up there and fish. If I go up there, I definitely want to just go up there and just fish and have fun. I really wouldn't want to guide up there while I'm there.
That's
If
fair.
it was somebody I knew or something like that, like people went up there with me or something like that, I would love to do that. I would guide up there, but at the end of the day, if I'm up there, it's kind of a vacation.
Yeah. It is just the ultimate fisherman's paradise up there, I
It
feel
really
like.
is. If I literally had no other life, I would live up north in a log cabin and eat perch and walleye every day and just fish.
I mean, it sounds pretty nice, honestly.
Dude, like,
Like
it's
the
cool.
fishing is so crazy up there.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's
And I
great.
mean, it just shows that like, I wonder if you close down all the ramps at Lake Lanier for 2 years
Oh my
and
gosh,
just went back out there after at the 24 months and 1 hour and you just get out there. Like, what do you think it'd be like?
dude, obscene. I
Like,
don't even know how to describe it. Anybody you wanted, get it within 15 foot of them, they were going to smoke it.
like you got to think about like their patterns would probably change because they're not used to being moved all over the lake. Like you think, like they just be roaming on herring and
Could
chewing
be,
bluegill
yeah.
everywhere. And
I'd say they still would sit up on the holes and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Mark Sexton, the scientist for pure fishing, lives up there in Spirit Lake, Iowa, at the
Hmm.
headquarters. Said a bass has a memory of 5 months or 3 months.
Really?
I'm sorry, 3 months long.
Hmm.
3 months. So there's a little tidbit for y'all. He says that bass have a 3 month long memory. So think about this: northern waters are frozen for 5 months out of the year, pretty much like a bass that's never seen a lure. Every year from now on, it's frozen. When it unthaws, they're dumb. Like that's why they're so stupid. They don't get fish for, and they pretty much forget everything. These fish down here, they get conditioned to stuff, and they remember it forever.
That's what it seems like. It's nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. I
It,
didn't know that.
Yeah, 3 month long. I'll never forget when he told me that. I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, really."
That's
Yeah, he's
wild.
like, "Yeah,
Any tips for somebody going to St. Lawrence for the first time?
dude, I've never been either. But if it was
You've
me,
never been to the St. Lawrence?
no, or Champlain. This year, I'm checking them
Oh,
both off the list. I'm super
Cass.
excited. I
So
know.
what are you going to St. Lawrence for? You got dirt
I'm
up
gonna
there to
get in a
do?
Toyota series up there. Yeah,
That's legit. What are the dates on that?
right after like July 31st through August 1st. So it should
That'll
be
be
prime.
sweet.
If you can go to Lake Ontario on a calm day, go to the Lake Ontario, fish isolated boulders. St. Lawrence River, fish as close as you possibly can to the mouth of Lake Ontario and fish on those huge flats. If it's earlier in the year, the fish are going to be spawning and living around on isolated rocks and boulders up on those flats. And if it's in the dead of summer, they'll get actually in the river channel on current breaks and stuff like that. And basically get a bait down there near the bottom that looks like a goby and hang on.
Yeah, dude. They hit it so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It's
Hmm.
so stupid. And you can do all kinds of fun stuff up there.
For
Call when
sure.
you'll be all right. We'll do some we'll get some recaps and get you some tips before you go up there.
For sure.
For sure. What about Toledo Bend in August? Any ideas
Dude,
there?
I have no idea. I would imagine it would be a brush pile deal.
It would have to be. That's
Hmm.
it's I don't know. I've never been out there, but I know it's got some dang giants in it too.
Melons.
Um, on the bait front, obviously this whole urchin searching with the urchin is huge right now. Like, have you played around with anything that's kind of blowing your mind of like, this is something I got to keep in my pocket? You obviously don't have to give up any juice, but is there another?
Dude, honestly, not really. I hate to give a boring answer, but to be honest with you, that way you know I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's butt. I am clueless.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like I throw that thing around and just kind of snap it around, and if one's dumb enough to eat it, then that's how it works for me.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think like 2 years ago that we had no idea. Now it's like 2 years ago, I feel like everybody was throwing a minnow real heavy, right? Like the minnow was like, and then they start getting conditioned to it. Like, I
Yep.
wonder how long the koiki's going to last. Cause like in Japan, it seems like it's already faded. So it's like, but also here we
It's
have a lot
already
more
fading
water.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have a lot more water and stuff here, but on these pressured fisheries, like it seems like it is fading some already.
Yeah,
So
no doubt. It
we'll
is.
all
I
all
mean,
be
I don't
chasing
know.
the next best thing.
It's a tool, and I'm just kind of keeping my eye out for the next big trend to hopefully be ahead of it for once.
I like it. Anything on Kentucky Lake? He's going for the first time next month.
Should be a good offshore bite. Main River Channel around Paris Landing. I always look on Main River current breaks around Paris and just idle and side scan until you find schools of fish grouped up really tight to the bottom, and start off throwing a worm in there like a drop shot or something. And when you get a couple bites, then pick up the big crankbaits and the big spoons and stuff like that.
I like it. I like it. Diaz said he'll hit you up for a trip on Chattooga. He's always wanted to go up there and fish it. Dude, Chattooga is awesome. Talk to me
It's
about Lake
dude,
Chattooga for a minute.
dude, it's crazy. Home lake, lived there my entire life. Never seen a lake fish that good consistently. I had the other day we had four kids. The oldest one was 7, the youngest one was 4, and their granddad and myself all on my boat, and had them all throwing top waters and flukes, and we were breaking their necks. It was awesome. Just have them lined up, throw up on a point, poof, poof, poof. It's getting to be the time of year where anybody can catch them on Chateau. It's fun, but I would love it if y'all came with me, and we'll run as many places as we can, and you'll catch as many as you please.
That's awesome. And it's such a fun, it's got to be such a fun lake to guide on just because
Oh,
you can
dude.
just run and gun, keep it interesting. Like when you have 4 to 7 year olds on the boat or 70 year olds, you're
Mm-hmm.
still able to like keep them entertained and keep them active, keep them hooked up.
Yeah. Days that, it's real sunny and slick and the fish can see your bait really good, they do get a little tougher to bite. But, nothing like Lanier or nothing like that, the pressure. But like on a cloudy day, it's mindless. Just throw over there and
So
reel
if
your
you're
bait
looking at the
back.
forecast and you had like some rain and clouds on Saturday and bluebird
If
Sunday, go
if
on
you can,
Saturday.
yeah, if you can stand the rain, you need to be out there in it for sure.
Nice. They do like bad weather out there, I feel
Mm.
like.
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, dude, I know you're practicing and trying to get all this stuff done so we can wrap her up early tonight. But, dude, thanks so much for coming on and all this stuff. You got any last minute pieces of advice for the folks at home?
Just subscribe to my channel. I would love it if y'all did, and subscribe to Fish North Georgia. So we've been doing this. Came on this show when I was 16 years old as my first ever podcast, and I was nervous as a cut cat. And it's cool to kind of come back around, and hopefully we do it for many years to come.
We will. We will. Well, good luck this week from all of us at Fish North Georgia. And
Thanks,
just
boys.
thanks for being there for us and supporting us through everything. And then thanks for putting out this content and taking everybody along for the ride.
Yeah,
We can't
man.
wait to see what goes on this week and wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, guys. It means a lot, and we'll try to bring it on home.
I like it. I like it. Well, good luck. We're gonna get off here. Thank y'all for tuning in.